What's up all you robot fighting dudes and dudettes, Toyshiz here, and I got a really different review for you today. We are totally going to be checking out the semi-fairly brand new Diamond Select Pacific Rim Uprising, the HAKUJA vinyl action figure. Diamond Select has gone to town with the sequel to Pacific Rim and produced a ton more new Jaegers, including this ultra super cool Kaiju action figure. Look at this sucker. I do appreciate Diamond Select sending this over to me to give you guys a fresh look. Oh, I'm excited to show him off to you. I've already unboxed him, obviously, but let's get into it. This is the Pacific Rim Uprising HAKUJA vinyl action figure. And while I got all you Jaegers here, I just want to say thanks so much for checking out my fresh look. If you liked it, make sure to subscribe, hit that like button, and leave a comment. Let's talk all things Kaiju. And here's the HAKUJA out of the packaging, and if I'm not saying that right, it'll be fine. This thing is pretty darn awesome looking. I love a good Japanese monster Godzilla, and again, thanks to Diamond Select for knowing that and sending me over something wild. This thing is insane. It looks like a crab on steroids, basically. It also kind of reminds me of the Brood from X-Men, so to speak. This little guy right here, kind of, sort of. It's got that tail. Maybe it's a baby Brood, and this one's the King Brood, something like that. I don't know, but check out the detail. The paint on this thing alone is absolutely insane. The articulation, perfect for what you want out of something like this. It is considered a vinyl action figure, so not a lot of articulation going on, but dang, the sculpt on this thing is insane. This thing is actually pretty sharp. I love when action figures have sharp points to them. Anyways, I absolutely love the head sculpt. Look at the teeth, everything from the sculpt on the head, the paint. That's what the paint really sells this thing. This is like a very brownish earth tone, elements of yellow and green, and it all looks very organic. It doesn't look painted. It looks like this is something that exists, and it's very, very natural looking. Articulation-wise, I mean, this thing goes every which way. So mostly the articulation is in the arms, let's say the shoulders of the actual figure, and then it has some articulation at the elbows, you know, of all legs pretty much. But right up front, yeah, these ones are the ones to work. These ones barely, just kind of, they move here, they crunch, they twist there, and then they also have foot articulation as well. Nothing like in the sense of an ankle pivot. See, this is why this is so wild to kind of review. It's a totally different sort of action figure, so you kind of have to go with it. Here, the legs move and then the feet move. So it kind of goes like multi-articulation, kind of articulation, and then minimal articulation. It works really well. You can get this thing in sort of all kinds of crazy poses. For loving like Godzilla and things like that, this looks like I would love to see Godzilla fight this thing. That is amazing. And I will be doing more reviews for Pacific Rim. Diamond Select was nice enough. They sent over the entire run of the Jaegers for the new line, so they'll definitely have some things to fight, especially for this guy. I mean, even the bottom, I love the little vein work. It's got this very nice teal blue, the face. I love the eyes. This is totally wild, totally different. And for me, just in looking at it in terms of this reminds me of a Godzilla. You can have a Godzilla fight with this guy. You can have it with your other Jaegers if you want to do a Pacific Rim Uprising sort of deal. Or you can kind of have them fight the X-Men. Let's look into it. Let's see how they all match up. So let's say in so many ways you got your new Godzilla figure from Jakks Pacific and you want to put him up against this Diamond Select HAKUJA figure. That actually scales really nicely. Like, I mean, I could see this thing just like jumping on him and just kind of taking Godzilla down. Obviously, Godzilla's gonna win. You know, come on, who are you messing with? But that actually looks pretty cool. So if you are a monster fan, something in that sense, I think you're gonna like this guy. And then for all you Diamond Select, Marvel Select fans, this actually works out pretty well. It totally reminds me of the Brood. Yeah, it is a kaiju monster, but not gonna lie, that actually looks pretty wild. What say you? I'm actually digging that a lot. For someone that doesn't really collect a lot of Pacific Rim things, this is exactly what it reminds me of. So, perhaps you'll feel the same way. It totally makes for a great setup, especially having Gambit, Wolverine, Beast going at him. That's pretty awesome. So that's going to do it for my fresh look at the Diamond Select Pacific Rim Uprising HAKUJA vinyl action figure. It's actually a pretty awesome monster. Not a whole heck of a lot of articulation, mostly at the arms, the tail, and then of course the head and the jaw articulates as well. It's a little odd. The tongue stays in place. This just moves back and forth. I do wish that this kind of moved up just to complete the jaw, have a closed mouth if you wanted to, but to be quite honest with you, for something that looks like this, for the amount of paint and detail, it's pretty freaking rad. So if you're a fan of Pacific Rim Uprising, Japanese monster movies, heck, maybe even the X-Men, you might have this work for you on your collection shelves. I'm interested to know what you guys think. Have you picked this up? What do you think about the Pacific Rim figures? Comment below, let me know. Let's talk everything kaiju. I'm going to leave you guys with that. As always, drink some great coffee, eat some great food, but most importantly, collect some amazing Diamond Select Pacific Rim Uprising action figures. I love the back of this thing. That is just awesome. And when you do, let me know what you found. I'll talk to you guys soon. Adios.